Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Shannon. I'm a homeschool mom of 3. And today I want you to come along with me and get ready with me for the day while I talk about our experience with unschooling. I'm not really gonna take time to list out everything that I'm using as far as products. I will try and put that in the description box below. I just have way too much to say about unschooling. Okay, so what unschooling look like for us? We're gonna take a break from our formal lessons. I also decided that we weren't going to spend endless amounts of time on electronics. So Monday through Thursday, they were not allowed to be on their tablets or watch TV or anything like that. We sort of avoided that unless it was educational. That was sort of the trade-off. What they could do with their free time, they could play outside as much as they wanted. They could play with their Barbies upstairs. They could do puzzles. They could play games with each other, or we could play games as a family. We also were intentional about going on field trips. We would go to the zoo, we would go to the museum. We live kind of in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in Texas, and there's a lot of cool Texas history places around town. A lot of good museums in Fort Worth. I also decided I was going to take this opportunity to teach them some basic chores. When they were in public school, I didn't bother them with chores because they were gone at school all day. And then they came home and they had a lot of homework. Sorry, I switched the camera around because I had a feeling my hand was in my face the whole time. So I apologize. So when they were in public school, I didn't bother them with chores because they were gone all day. And then they came home and they had more homework to do. So I didn't bother them with teaching them how to unload the dishwasher or anything like that. So I took this opportunity to teach them those basic chores. You know, this is something that I used to do for them, and now that they're homeschooling, it's an education. Everybody needs to learn how to do this. And quite honestly, now that I have kids home full time, Mama needs the help. So that was a great addition. I also got them involved with the cooking process. I would try and put little baking projects into the day so they can learn measuring and all that. You don't realize how educational that stuff is, but it is. We also did the library a lot, and I would challenge them to find books that were on their reading level. I would also kind of spur them to start thinking about things they were interested in. What do you want to be when you grow up? What's your favorite subject? Let's find books on that. Let's learn about that. And what I noticed that started happening is there was a total attitude shift. They were having complete control, at least they felt that way, over what they learned about. Oh, you want to be an archaeologist, Ella? Let's watch some documentaries about archaeologists digging up tombs in Egypt. Grace, you want to be a writer? Ooh, I have some great writers to recommend for you that you can start reading now, and you can learn different techniques. You can see how they use words, how they use descriptions. And guess what? They were all on board. I know I look crazy. It's a process. I also was able to watch them and observe them and determine what their learning styles were. Grace is a very kinetic learner. The more she's moving, the more she absorbs the concepts. Sitting in front of a book just did not work for her. Ella's style of learning is to sit down and be able to get it done, and then she moves on with her day. She can be very laser focused. So I was sort of collecting that data about both of them so I could better tailor my teaching style towards them, because no two kids learn the same way. So we did this for, I would say, about a month, and it was night and day. All of a sudden, the light just came back on. You know, for my kids, I don't want to speak for all kids, but for my kids, public school really diminished that love of learning that I really think kids are born with. That's just a personal opinion, not a fact. But I do think as children, they have a natural desire to explore and to learn. When my kids went to public school, it became a job. It just took the enjoyment out of learning. And so they just did not thrive in that environment. So coming home, deschooling, really relit that natural desire to learn. So when we started adding back in the formal lessons, first I would add in history because that was something they were interested in. And then I added in science, and then I added in math, and then I added in language arts. Not every day was perfect. You know, some days I would still experience a little bit of pushback, but I mean night and day. And when I did experience pushback, we sort of took a step back and said, okay, this is why we're doing school. You mentioned you wanted to be a writer. Well, this is the time that we're taking learning how to spell. This is the time we're taking, we're studying other people's writing so we can kind of emulate that. And so we were able to stop and have those conversations because I took the time to learn about my kids. So that was kind of a cool experience, and an important one too. I have been doing way too much talking, so let me finish up real quick. There are people out there that unschool as their style of learning, and I don't knock that whatsoever. I learned just how educational that time can be, not only for the kids, but for us parents as well. I personally like to be able to follow a curriculum and be told what to do every day. That takes a lot of pressure off of me, which is why we don't unschool anymore. But when we have a bad day, you better believe I don't even fight them. I say, you want a bad day? All right, you can have the day off, but you're not getting tablet or TV. You can take the time, you can read, you can play, you can do whatever. And so I still keep some of those concepts for the bad days, and then we get right back on it. They know that it's not a day off, and the work that they were supposed to do that day, they don't ever have to do. No, they have to wake up tomorrow and do it. And it just means, you know, at the end of the year, that's one extra day. So I make that very clear, and they don't take more than they need. I think one of the best things we can do is let them have bad days. When they're sick, sometimes they still want to get their schoolwork done because they can sit on the couch and do their schoolwork. Sometimes they're really not feeling well enough to do it, and I don't make them do it. If, you know, you're in your first year and you're finding that all it is fights all day, this video is for you. I highly recommend looking into unschooling and deschooling. There are a lot of great videos, a lot more informative than this one out there. This is just our experience and how unschooling and deschooling looked for us. All right, finishing touches. Oh, I always put myself in the eye on this part. Let's see if I can do it. I was thinking it was gonna be a fake eyelash day, but I kind of like this. I try to keep it simple around here. Getting some makeup on makes me feel so much better. All right, let's get this hair finished. If you homeschool, I'm curious. Did you ever unschool your kids or deschool? If so, what did that look like for you? Anyway, thanks for getting ready with me today. I hope y'all have a blessed day. Y'all go say something kind to yourself, and we will see you next time. Bye.